Hello and welcome back again, my friends. And first of all, my name is Beslin Petrus Amintas Tumpo, and my student ID is 20030050049. And I came from English Education K1. And on this occasion, let me give you an explanation about my journal. And the journal is EFL Learners Learning Styles and Their Attributes, and that have been written by Lu Trong Tuan in National University of Ho Chi Minh City. And let's go to the journal discussion. So this research was conducted to examine EFL students' preferred learning styles and linkages between learning style, preferences, and individual attributes such as fields of study, length of territory, study, gender, age, learning language experience. So 172 students were invited to participate in questionnaire survey. The higher levels of English EFL students got, the more kinesthetic and tactical they appeared. Furthermore, the students with the shortest lengths of studying English tended to be those with a variety of preferred learning style, aspect individual. The introduction. The introduction is mainstream language teaching no longer deems teaching methods to be the key factor in determining the success or failure of language technical and learning. So the learners shape their own learning process and more and robustly. The rise of individual difference research has brought forth of new perception of the nature of learner differences. The researchers have centered much on such fundamental questions as what makes a good language learner and why some students develop proficiency and briskly and easily than others do. One of the causes is that there are considerable individual differences in language learning in terms of gender, age, social status, motivation, attitude, aptitude, and culture. So what works for one learner might not work for another. There is the fact that the students take in the comprehend information in different manners, and the study is aims to explore students' perceptual learning style preferences as well as whether any linkage between language learning styles and such variable as field of study, study length, gender, age, language learning experience, and English proficiency level subsist. Definition of learning styles. A number of definitions for the term learning style can be found in the literature. In the earlier days of this type of research, the term cognitive style was used rather than learning style. From this perspective, so the learning style is considered a broader term that includes the construct of cognitive style. Dunn and Dunn define learning styles as a term that describes the variation among learners in using one or more senses to understand, organize, and retain experience. Claxton and Ralston defines the terms as a learner's conscious way of responding and using stimuli in the context of learning. Later, Frasified define learning styles as ways as which individuals perceive, organize, and recall information in their environment. Ramizer and Cassandra write that the analytic versus relevant to the learning style dimension of sensory strength is that global analytic thinking. The research on the hemispheres of the brain suggests that we process two different ways of processing information: global in the right hemisphere and analytic in the hemisphere. So the global learners require an overall picture first. Analytic learners, by contrast, piece details together from understanding. The analytic learner move from one point to another point in a step-by-step manner, while the global learners separate parts. So the analytic learners plan and organize their works. Global learners, on the other hand, learn more effectively through concrete experience and by interaction with other people. Sensory learning styles. Visual learner will be able to recall what they see and will prefer written instructions. These students are sight readers who enjoy reading silently. They are excited by classroom interaction in role plays and analog activities. Students with this style will be able to recall what they hear and will prefer oral instructions. These students should be introduced by the new information by hearing it. These students enjoy talking and interviewing. The phonetic readers who enjoy oral reading, choral reading, and listening to recorded books. They learn by best interviewing, debating, giving oral reports, or participating in oral discussion of written material. Personality learning styles. The personality type is a construct based on the work of psychologist Carl Jung. Some contend that an individual learning type can be made out of 16 possible combinations of these preferences. Students with different proficiency tend to respond differently to different teaching style. Okay. Instrument. The instrument used in this study was the questionnaire, the most common method of collecting survey data. The perceptual learning style preference questionnaire recommended with a brief of 6 learning style modalities developed by Reid particularly for learners of foreign language. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, tactical group individual, negligible learning style preferences 0224. This result was compatible with the Reid study. However, in contrast, visual learning was not selected as a major learning style by any students for all 4 major fields. The value showed that there were no significant differences among students majors in visual learning style. Surprisingly, the students in 2 majors, English and computer science, prefer tactical learning as a major learning style with a very high mean score. So the concluding is this result of the analysis and discussion indicate that there are some significant relationship between student learning style preferences and such variables as fields of study, length of territory study, gender, age, learning language experience, and English proficiency level. Although it is said that traditionally the teaching of EFL in Vietnam is dominated by a teacher-centered, book-centered grammar translation method and emphasis on mechanical memory, which resulted as in a number of typical learning. It seems the students are more and more adapting themselves to active learning and express a negative attitude towards passive learning or rote learning. So that's all my explanation about the EFL learning style and their attributes that have been written by Lu Trong Tuan. Thank you for your attention and see you again. Thank you.